All right, welcome back. Yes, I have a guest here who has gone from being a reality star to being a media personality and a consultant and a sports enthusiast, amongst other things. Ex-BBNaija, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Thanks for being here today. Congratulations and everything. You were, of course, on Big Brother Naija, which I'm very aware of. In a quick nutshell, how has the journey been since leaving the house?
I think for a change, it's good to see you on a Sunday now. it doesn't feel that bad seeing you on a Sunday now. No, it's been great. I always said, even from right off the moment when I left the house, is I think sometimes people don't understand how great of a platform it is.
Yeah.
I think people most times just focus on the social media numbers. But then I think they forget that the most important thing is it gives you an opportunity to excel in what you want to do in life. And for me, I went in there with a purpose, and now it's giving me the best opportunity I could ever dream of to go ahead and achieve those things.
And I've heard you say a lot, that you never watched the show, you never really knew what to expect. Why did you go on a show you have no idea about? What was it about the show that made you still want to go?
Yeah, because, my family, our mindset was just you go to school, get your degrees, and then just go get a job. And I knew that the show, one thing I knew was that people that went on the show, you get like a platform so you become famous, you could do something with it. And when I came back to Nigeria, I thought, okay, fine. I've been the printer in my house has probably seen my CV so many times. I've printed my CV so many times, gone to different offices, trying to work in sports administration, but I never got the opportunity. So I said, okay, fine. Maybe I should actually go on this show, get whatever I get from the platform, and then go ahead to achieve this dream. And yeah, I think it's been great. It's been more than I ever expected.
I mean, you've done very interesting things. I see talk about Juventus, you partnering with teams like that. I know you've done stuff with UEFA even before getting into the house. You have a show on SuperSport with Budweiser. How did these things happen? Were they intentional? Did it fall on your lap? Because there's always this talk about, you leave a show like this, and people are wondering, what are you going to do with it? So how did were these intentional moves by you? And how, for Juventus, for example, people were confused at how do you get that kind of a gig?
Yeah. No, I think I think in life you do what you can. And I think I was really blessed and fortunate that this year we had, last year, when I was on the show, we had like the trivia game, so I was able to show my knowledge of sports there as well. So coming out, people who had seen the show had probably sent fillers out. I think the best type of marketing I said is word of mouth. So people have told, okay, this guy is good at this guy is good at that. So maybe you should just give him an opportunity to try and achieve all these things. And that's how it's worked. I always said, I never wish my life is like anyone else's life. Because if someone sees me now and says, okay, I wish my life is like Ozo's life, then that means at a certain time in your life, you're going to get your dream job and you lose it. Because I got my dream job working for one of the UEFA federations, and I did lose that job, which I just went a full circle again, and then back I'm working towards that same situation as well. So I think that's just how it happened. Is I was able to showcase what I could offer, and then people give you an opportunity, and you have to live up to all those expectations that you've set for yourself.
Yeah. So what do you think makes people who go on this show sometimes not do as well as they'd like to? Because there's a belief, and there seems to be a pattern where it says a lot of these people go on this show, not everybody, a good percentage end up not doing what they wanted to do or being as successful as they wanted to be. What do you think makes people stand out? Saying this because there are people who would like to go on the show to say, okay, if I go and come out, I would like to do something with it.
Yeah.
What makes people do well with a platform like this?
I think the first thing is, I think what would make people fail is unnecessary pressure. And I say unnecessary pressure simply because you come out and it's not like we go on the show, it's not like we're music artists or like we're actors. So you go on the show like you're like an everyday today person. And all of a sudden you're out of the house and then people are stopping you. Oh, can we take a picture? Can we do this? Can we do that? And then all of a sudden you now start thinking in your head, maybe I shouldn't fly commercial anymore. Maybe I should fly a private jet. Or maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. But if it's something you can't live up to, then don't do that. Because then you've put so much undue pressure on yourself, or you start thinking, every day I should just post pictures of myself wearing Gucci's or all the fancy brands, when you could wear your normal day-to-day stuff and still look good in it. So if you put pressure on yourself that you can't live up to, then that's when you fail, because then you fall on that whole illusion of you're trying to do things to impress people. And then you lose sight of where you want to get to in life. I think eventually you always get there, as long as you apply yourself and you have the belief in yourself that you're going to get there. Myself, every day, do I wake up some days and I think like, okay, how am I going to get to where I want to get to in life? I have dreams of having great things, but then I don't have maybe the best financial status to get there now. All I just have to tell myself is, okay, also just pace yourself, do what you have to do. It's a journey, life, and you're eventually going to get there. If you're able to tell yourself that this is what I want to achieve and I'm going to apply myself to it, then you get there. But if you lose sight of it and you think it's all about, like I said, the whole thing about social media, trying to impress people, then that's where you get yourself into trouble.
Do you think you've been lucky?
I've been blessed. Most times I never use the word luck. I always say I've been blessed. Yes, when I look at my life, I look at how I've been able to get to where I am now in life. As a 5-6-year-old, I couldn't tell the time. My little sister, that I'm 4 years older than, learned how to tell the time before me. So one thing I think taught me in life is that just be patient. You're eventually going to arrive, and when you arrive, most times you arrive in style. I wasn't the brightest in school. During the long vacations, my sisters will be watching Cartoon Network. I'll have a lesson teacher that will come in the morning. I'll have one that will come in the evening. But eventually, I had a first-class degree during my bachelor's degree, and I missed getting a first class in my master's by 0.26. I always say that story because it was painful. But one thing it's taught me is that eventually I'll arrive. Is it luck? No. I feel like I've been blessed to meet the right people at the right time.
I asked a lot question because I've seen a lot of conversation, valid or not. I just wanted to get your opinion on that, about light skin privilege and what that did for you and people like you who have gone on a show like this, and there's sort of a platform different for you because of how you look and the kind of society we live in that puts emphasis on maybe skin color or skin tone or pretty privilege even. Do you think that helped you in any way?
When I see situations like that, I never chalk things down to the complexion of someone's skin. What I always say is your character actually tells a whole lot about you. Like me, myself, most times you end up appreciating someone when you're able to tell the type of character that person is. So if you're someone I know that you have your humble spirits, you carry yourself well, you want to see other people succeed, then I would gravitate towards you. So I think it's, my own viewpoint is all about a character thing. I know, yes, there's, in the world globally, we all have like so many underlying racial situations, but then at the same time, we've seen so many black people succeed. We've seen so many light-skinned people go on the same show that I went into and maybe didn't have as much of a following as maybe as I have. So I always chalk it down to, I think it's mostly a personality thing. I think most times people will meet you and they'll be able to deduce the kind of person you really are, and they'll probably gravitate towards you for those, your personal characters as well.
What's the biggest surprise for you since you left this show? Coming out, that you wondered, wow, I didn't know this was how this was going to be. What has been the biggest sort of wow moment for you?
The biggest one for me was the love. I think that's what it was, because when you get out of the house, you know, like the process before getting in, and then when you get out, and you come out of the house, and obviously there are negative things said about you, there are positive things said about you, and it was at that moment I just told myself that I can't think about anything that is negative, because the love for me was just too much. When I mean too much is you never expect that people would see you in the lights that people see you at now. And I think for me that was the biggest wow moment, is seeing the fact that there are so many people that no matter what's going on, they still want to support you and pray for you that you succeed in life. I think for me that's the biggest.
I mean, the love is very important, and I know the fans get a lot of praise for that, which is why the show is as big as it is, but also get a lot of flack for how, you know, they handle conversation. I know you also catch a lot of hits on social media. What are your thoughts on sort of fandom of this show and, you know, what it does, both negative and positive? Some people think one outweighs the other. What do you think?
I think you just have to take everything like a pinch of salt, like they say. It's you need to understand already, even for every single person out there that actually wants to go on the show, you need to understand that regardless of what your experience is on the show, when you get out, you're going to have people who like you, you're going to have people who do not like you. That's just how life is. That's what I think, and that's what I believe as well. So when you look at when you're getting so much flack on social media, my best approach towards this is, I always say you're answerable to what you answer to. And why I use that word is, if someone sees me on the streets and calls me a fool or an idiot or whatever, I keep moving. But if someone calls me, oh, like a son of grace or whatever, then I turn. So that means I'm answerable to what I answer to. So regardless of how much flack I may get on social media, I don't respond to it because I don't see it. I don't believe that your negative messages or undertone towards me applies to me or applies to my life. You can't stop me from getting to where I want to be in life. So I think it's always about making sure that you shut that out. Give them no credence. Because the moment people see that they could push your buttons, then they'll keep prodding. But I think if people see that they're prodding and they're not stopping you from getting to where you want to get in life, then they kind of have to learn and know that, okay, maybe at a certain period, hopefully by God's grace, they get to reach a point where they're like, okay, we should just probably stop and focus on whatever stuff is that they need to focus for themselves in life. So it's all understanding that the negativity will be there, but just focus on the positivity, and I'm sure you'll be fine.
Very hard to do, though.
I know,
very hard to do.
There's some days where you see some things, and in your mind you're like, how in God's name would someone think about me this way? Yeah, but you see it, and you just have to say, okay, it is what it is. Let me just turn the blind eye to it and just keep moving. How's
Ozone doing these days? I see you're wearing a ring.
Oh,
is that a wedding ring?
No, 100% no. So this is so like a company.
Or a promise ring?
No, this is a ring. This is a company I work with. I've always
can we see? Because it's blinging like, you know.
Yeah, I know. No, it's quite nice. It's
a company you work with did what?
No. So like before they gave me the ring, they always ask for like ring sizes. So the only thing I'm comfortable wearing the ring on is this one. Like, I'm Catholic, so growing up we always wore remember the finger rosary stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're Catholic, so you're Catholic.
I wore my finger rosary, not on my ring finger.
Where would you wear
it? One of these two.
One of these two. So me, I always wore my finger rosary on this finger.
But it's not a finger rosary.
No, it's a ring. It's just a fashion ring, if I'll call it that. That's
yeah, we believe you.
That's what.
But how's Nengi doing?
No, she's doing great. I mean, she's acting now, and she has lots of brands she's influencing with. So, I mean, she's doing really great. I know the undertone of the whole light skin thing kind of applied to both of us about, okay, you guys are being successful because you're light skin. I always say I think it's a personality thing. That's just what I think it is.
How are you guys doing?
No, we're doing great. We're doing really great. I mean, still rooting for each other to succeed in what we've always wanted to do. So I think that's the most important thing. I think people most times lose sight of people being friends. I think people lose sight of it. So regardless of whatever stuff is, I always say personal life is whatever it is, but just the real life situation is she wants to do her stuff in the movie industry, fashion, whatever. I hope she succeeds, and I hope she feels the same way about me as well.
Is this still just a friendship?
Yeah.
Why, though? Because you look like you really wanted more than that.
I don't know. I always keep my personal life private. Like I always say.
Well, it kind of became our business. So
no. Obviously, like everything played out on the global screen, and everyone saw everything happening. So it's normal. You get into a house and you're with 19 other people, and you're always bound to have people that are favorites. I was fortunate enough that the people that were like my favorites in the house per se stayed up all until the end. Actually, not for anything, I actually was one that left them in the house, because V was there, Neo was there, Nengi was there, Dorothy was there as well. So I pretty much like left them in the house when I left. So for me, it was a great experience meeting all the 19 people that I met. But yeah, like it played out on a global stage and whatever. But most times my private life has always been private.
The perception of you when you came out of the house being this guy who was just so intense and intentional with how you liked Nengi.
Yeah.
Coming out of the house, and looking back now, I know you had interviews when you came out saying, I mean, you did what you did and you followed your heart and all of that. how has this shaped your relationship with her now? Where you are not intentionally trying to keep whatever you're saying is private and not let anybody in to understand whether it's a friendship or anything. Is that because of how the public reacted to you guys? And do you feel now the need to act differently with her publicly?
No. Regardless, I've always been this person that even whenever I'm in a relationship or situationship, whatever it is I found myself in, people don't get to know that part of my life. You probably have to be like really close to me to know, okay, this is what's going on in Oz's life at this point in time. So no, it has. I even said this in the house a couple of times, where I said like public perception would never phase me or would never make me change or act differently towards situations that I'm going through in my life. So no, it didn't have anything to do with it.
Did the company give her a ring as well?
Yeah, because
on the same finger.
No. I don't know. I don't know which one she's conversant wearing hers on. But yeah, I mean, this is the same company, so they give us like different rings as well.
Let's talk sports very quickly before we go to what's next for you. I mean, Nigeria had an amazing day yesterday. We had 4 Nigerians lifting trophies with the Rangers in Scotland and of course Leicester. Are you as excited for the Super Eagles as I am? Or does this look like one of those one-offs where they do great with their clubs and we come back here and we're not sure how the blend works? What are you thinking with regards to with football? Because the World Cup qualifiers are coming up soon.
Yeah. No, I think if in terms of the difficult part when it comes to the national team is saying, okay, fine, when we have all these players doing well, like in different parts, how well could they gel? I think that's the problem. My dad and I will always say we always think God is a Nigerian because we always find ourselves in. I keep saying, find ourselves in those situations where we're now saying, okay, we're praying for this team to lose or for this team to draw,
so that we can get 1 point.
And most times it actually happens. We do get there, but hopefully it's not the same for us this time. I was really happy for the Leicester players and the Rangers players yesterday. It was really, really great to watch and to see. But yeah, like the national team is all about how much stability can we get? Are we going to keep chopping and changing? And I know that the NFF, they're trying to get some stability there, but the reality is how quickly could we get this thing in? Could we have a situation now where we have an identified football philosophy that is going to suit our players and the style of play and the brand of football that we want to achieve? So I think until we agree as a nation that this is the style of football that appeals to us the most, and we're able to develop players in that mode. If we're not able to do that, then we're going to keep having this up and downs. It's just going to be like a trend. It goes up, it goes down. We look at the cryptocurrency market. That's probably what our football will look like if we don't get this this identified football philosophy into place.
And the Olympics might still happen. We don't know because there's talks about COVID and Tokyo and all of that. Are you okay with our preparations? I know the basketball team is camped, I think, in the US. I heard about the wrestlers in Bielsa. There's things are happening in pockets, but we don't know how well we're preparing. You probably have better insight very quickly. What do you think?
No, I think it's where you look at Nigeria and where we could possibly win medals. We're looking at the wrestling aspect of it. Basketball, we pray we don't miss the USA game. So, because the record is on our head now, the record margin for a win is still on our head. So when you look at it, I think what excites me the most about like development of sports in Nigeria the most is, I mean, we have the Basketball African League that's starting today. We have a Nigerian team there. So yes, we look at all these aspects, but I think the moment where we have more private individuals getting involved in sports, the better, investing, the better it's going to be for our sports. Because if we keep letting the government run everything, then we're still going to be hampered as well.
Very quickly before we go, I know you have a show every Sunday.
Yes.
On Super Sport, so we can watch that.
Yeah, so 8:30 every day. Myself, Jimmy, Ose, DJ Dibbs, the Kings of Football show. So it's going to be on.
Thank you very much, Azor. Good luck with everything. Looking forward to you doing more, greater things with this platform, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being
here.
Thanks
for having me.
We'll take another break, and when we'll come back, we'll be talking COVID and a possible third wave. I'll see you after this.